What's up, family? I am currently climbing my mountain bike up a Forrest service road and down a Capitol Forest, and I figured I got some time to kill before I'm at the top of my run, and I figured it'd be a great opportunity to make a video for you guys. Check out these views real quick. I think rain is on its way, but it should just be a little shower that'll pass by pretty quickly. But anyways, I would like to talk about the do's and don'ts of shifting. Shifting can sound and feel complicated, especially when you have two shifters on your bike. So I just want to inform you guys of what to do, what not to do. Start off with the do's. So number one, do your ABCQ check. Checking your chain is gonna make sure that your chain isn't in between gears, and when you put your body weight on your pedals, you're not gonna snap, break, or bend stuff. So number one, do your ABCQ check. Number two, find that consistent pedaling cadence. When you're in too much of an easy gear, you spin out. Kind of like when a hamster reaches like max speed on a hamster wheel. You go nowhere very fast. Going too easy of a gear won't allow you to carry speed in the uphills, which is where carrying speed will allow you to work less. You still will have to pedal up the hill, but by carrying speed, you'll be able to at least coast the bottom quarter, the bottom half of the hill or whatever. So, and when you're in too high of a gear, you're pedaling very slowly and you're working way too hard before you get up to that comfortable speed where you can just sit down and chill and pedal. So finding that perfect cadence entails just shifting. If you're not comfortable shifting, find a flat area and just mess with it. You only want to shift when you're pedaling, okay? That's basically going to be with every bike out there. So don't forget to pedal or shift when you're pedaling. Okay? Rule number 4. If you're not having fun on your bike, you feel like you're working too hard, you probably need a shift. But which way? Well, that all depends on your leg strength, what kind of bike you're in, or what kind of bike you're on, and whether you're going up, down, cruising on the flat. The thing with bikes and drive chain systems is that they're all different. So I can't tell you if you go uphill, you need to shift once, or twice, or even 3 times. You need to learn your bike, know which gears you like, know which gears help you get up the hill, and which ones give you more resistance for pedaling downhill, so that you don't start pedaling downhill and all your body weight just drops to the bottom of your pedal stroke. It's a pretty scary feeling. When you're pedaling downhill and you're not in a high enough gear or a hard enough gear, and you try to pedal and it's like there's nothing to catch you. So just practice in your parking lot. Know which paddle or which direction your shifter goes into for high and low gears. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a short break. Hello again. So, previous video were the do's of how to shift properly. So check your chain, make sure you're not in between gears. Know which way your shifter needs to be pushed or pulled or twisted to go into high or low gear or easy or hard gear. And find that cadence where your feet are just kind of like just moving at the same pace without overexerting or spinning out. A lot of people like to start off in the hardest gear and they have to put their entire body weight to get the bike to move like the length of a car. And again, it's how you break, snap your chain. Oh, I'm so excited for this ride down. Anyways, now the don'ts of shifting. So a lot of bikes that aren't tuned properly or haven't been serviced in a while, they'll start to skip gears when you're pedaling your bike up a steep hill and you didn't have too much momentum to start with. So what a lot of people do is when they're really grinding or putting a lot of pressure on their pedals, pedaling uphill, they'll shift. And then their bike makes this terrible, clanking, just awful noise. And it doesn't sound good, you know? If you know, you know. So to prevent that noise from happening and possibly snapping your chain mid-hill is when you're pedaling uphill and you're ready to shift into a lower or easy gear, soften up your pedaling. This is gonna make your bike shift a lot more accurately without skipping and hopefully quicker. Because when you're pedaling really hard and you're telling that chain to move and you haven't lubed your chain since you got your bike, that's gonna be a lot of friction on top of all that torsional flex you're putting on your bike frame, your chain, and the derailleur, whether it's a front or rear derailleur. And so yeah, soften up the pedals when you're shifting while pedaling uphill. That's gonna be the biggest thing. Another don't is shifting prematurely. Sometimes this happens when you're figuring out your bike or you're unfamiliar with the place you're riding. But I always say, shift only when you need to. When you shift prematurely or a little too late, you might have lost momentum to carry speed down the hill or up the hill. Carrying momentum on a bike allows us to have a lot more fun, work a lot less for the same output or result. Another don't is expect your bike to shift flawlessly when it hasn't been serviced in a while, or if your chain is all rusty. Set your expectations so that you're not disappointed when your bike doesn't shift the way you want it to because it hasn't been serviced properly or recently. So another thing with finding that perfect cadence is my feet. Check out my legs. My legs have been moving at this rate for about 2.5 miles. I'm about to reach the top of a 1,200 foot climb, and my legs have been moving steady like this the entire time. And the way I've been able to do that is by shifting when I need to. When the hill gets steeper, I shift into an easier gear. I don't pedal harder, I don't pedal faster. I let the bike do the work for me. If I wanted to, I could slow it down, but I feel pretty good. Even with talking to you guys right now, I've never done this before. Taking a selfie video while climbing a mountain with my bike, but I feel pretty darn good. If you're not shifting when you need to, or when the trail tells you to, or the road, you're gonna get tired a lot sooner than you have to be. So again, just find, even when I'm on my road bike, oh, I made it to the top. Even when I'm on my road bike, I'm shifting when there's gradual uphills and downhills on the road, so I can just continue that same cadence. That's gonna be the most important thing that your body can do to help shifting, because you gotta let the bike do what it needs to do, or what it's designed to do, which is shift properly when you tell it to. So it's kind of 50-50. If your bike's working the way it's supposed to, shifting should be crisp, and then shifting will be crisp if you shift when you need to, or when the trail or the route or the road tells you to. Our bodies can adapt and adjust pretty quickly, but our bikes can't do that if we're not helping it adjust to the terrain or our surroundings. So yeah, that's the trail I'm gonna go take down, and I'll probably see you at the bottom. Hey guys, so I found this perfect little spot on the trail to kind of explain what I mean by carrying momentum to get at least partly up a hill, and then shifting when you need to, and when you need to shift, soften up that pedaling so that your shifting doesn't sound super clunky. It's quicker, snappier, and it's just more efficient in general. So I'm gonna try and prop my phone up with a stick. Pretty primitive setup I got going on, and I'll try and run through it with you guys. So please bear with me. I'm gonna try and literally set my phone on a stick so that I can show you what I mean. Okay, so that last video cut out, so I'm just gonna run through that one more time. Stay. Okay. Okay, carry momentum, soften up the pedaling, and shift. I'll be right back. Boom, smooth transition. Now I'm in my easy climbing cadence. It can seem like a lot trying to think of all these different components to maximize efficiency altogether, but when you break it down to carry momentum, soften up the pedaling, and shifting, those three singularities, combining them, just make you a stronger, more efficient rider, and it makes you look like a professional out there too. It makes you look like you know what you're doing when you just transition from downhill to a smooth uphill. Let me know what you guys think of this video content. I'm making this stuff for you guys. I'm trying to switch it up by being out in the woods outside of Tacoma, and let me know if this stuff's relevant to how you ride your bike. So yeah, let me know. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Shoot me an email. You should have my email in your Tacoma Public Schools email inbox. I sent y'all an email a couple weeks ago, so look out for that, and let me know what you think of this stuff. I'd be totally willing to switch it up or talk about different topics that are more relevant to you and the way you ride your bike. So see you guys, have a good one. Hey guys, forgot to mention one thing that is included in the don'ts on how to shift. So I mentioned, hold on, let me shift right now. There we go. So when climbing, shifting into easier gear, soften up the pedaling. So that also goes for shifting into harder gears when you're going downhill. So basically the reason why I say soft pedaling is because a lot of deraillers can't handle that torsional flex of the frame flexing with you on it, pedaling really hard and shifting your chain. The only drive chains that can really handle that much stress are the drive chains that kind of go up into that $1,000 price range. I wish I was joking. So yeah, when you're pedaling downhill and you're trying to pick up some speed, you want to shift it to a harder gear to give you more resistance so you can just pick up more speed, but you also want to soften up the pedaling. When you don't soften up your pedaling and shift down a few gears, it kind of feels like when you miss a stair going down and you kind of slip and fall, but you catch yourself. Kind of feels like that. It's kind of scary. It feels like you lost your grip going down the stairs, but you catch yourself. So just ease up, soften up the pedaling, whether you're shifting up or down. It's gonna make your bike happy. It's gonna make you happy. Okay, I think this is my last video for the day. I'm about to take lap 2. I'm super hungry, super sweaty, but it's a beautiful overcast day. I feel a little underbiked, meaning I wish I had a burlier bike, but I'm always up for the challenge. And my trusty steed, I can always rely on it. So have a good one, guys. See ya.